Hello, I am Raina Smith, and I am here with Angie Mabe. Yes, we are
good
back.
To be here.
We are back, and of course, we are wanting just to share with you what is happening next at our next Vitality Conversation on May the 5th at 4 o'clock. Now, Angie is over Abba's Heart Counseling Center.
Yes.
And she has been a wonderful partner with us. If you have been a part of our ministry for any time, of course, you have seen her wonderful face, as well as her and her husband serving here at Waterstone. Now, coming up, what are we going to be talking about?
We are going to be talking about crisis in marriage,
Okay.
how to navigate it. We're going to be discussing do's and don'ts during it.
Okay.
And more importantly, really how your source of needs need to be met through God and not your spouse.
Wow, because when crisis happens, I don't know, I'm sure many of you have gone through crisis in marriage. If you haven't, you know, there's always those seasons.
Have you really been married?
Because it does happen, and that's where life is. And we want to be able to give you the tools to be able to navigate those waters when it does happen. Whether it be a decision in your home, a financial burden, someone sick, maybe past trauma that comes up that you didn't know about as a young married. It could be, you could have been married 2 weeks, or you can be married 20 years.
Yeah. And I like what you touched on there, because the way I'm going to define crisis is anything that takes you outside of your emotional norm and the normalcy of what a typical day would look like.
Right.
And so that could be infertility, it could be a death, it could be a job change, it could be an accident. There's a lot of things that will create a crisis in marriage. And learning how to navigate it well, I think, is key.
Well, what's interesting about that, as you know, we're doing an Experiencing God series, and part of our steps that we're going through is there's a crisis of belief.
Yes.
So basically, whenever you take steps of obedience, maybe in a job or something, and it doesn't quite look what look like what you thought it would look like, or you have to make decisions in the midst of moving forward, that is still a type of crisis that you're going through.
Absolutely. I think, your belief in Christ, and is he going to provide? Is he going to take care of me? Oh, that gets challenged so much when you're in the middle of a real life crisis. You're like, God, where are you?
And many times, like you said, we do depend on that spouse to fill our tank, when what we always say is like, your tank has to be filled personally.
Correct.
Their tank needs to be filled personally before you can come together to have the clarity of mind.
Correct.
To be able to even engage in the process of healing.
Absolutely. And I think it's so easy to lose focus of that. Like, you could be getting your tank filled by God, and I know I've done this a million times of how you get your tank filled by God, and then I realize, like, man, I've made my husband an idol again, and I didn't mean to.
Wow.
You're expecting him to fulfill certain needs when really that need should have been taken to God first, and going, God, hey, here's this need.
Oh, yeah.
I need you to take care of it. But I think you just get mixed up of, like, whose job is it really? It's always God's job to meet your needs.
And he will come and take care of it. It's amazing how whenever we're walking with the Lord personally, and of course your spouse is, but then you're praying for each other. You're praying that the Lord reveal himself to that person. And it's so cool to see that as you're praying for each other, that's whenever you truly have the empathy and the strength to come to a common goal. But of course, Angie's going to be sharing more of that when we come together, and I'm excited about it. Now, if you want to know more about Abba's Heart Counseling or our wellness ministry, be sure to go onto our wellness Facebook page, or of course go to Abba's Heart Counseling. She's located here in, is it Altamont or Longwood?
It's in Longwood, actually. It's right down the street.
Okay, in Longwood. The borders are always new to me. So right around the corner from the church is a great opportunity for you guys to step in. But also, we want you to step in with us on May the 5th at 4 o'clock for our next Vitality Conversation. So go ahead, write it down, jump in here. We have childcare. So it's awesome if you could register ahead of time, because we try to leave all the excuses out of it. We would love to spend time with you, and it's totally worth the investment. Again, thank you for being with us today at our little Waterstone Wellness Update, and we look forward to seeing you. Bye.
Bye.